Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sheer, your AEC Tech Girl, and in today's episode, we're tackling a common issue that many Revit users face: finding hidden elements in your model. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, these top 3 tricks will help you locate those elusive elements and make your workflows more efficient. Before we dive into the tips, let me share a quick story. Back when I was working as a BIM manager, I used to get asked this question multiple times a day, sometimes multiple times a day by the same person. I can't see an element in this view, but I see it in other places in the model. Please help me. It was so common that I eventually made people write down these 3 steps on a sticky note and put it on their screen, and I told them to check these 3 things before calling me. And now I'm going to share these steps with you.
The first thing you need to check is your visibility and graphic settings, and this includes category overrides, filter, and workset overrides. I'm in the Snowden sample project, and I hit a bunch of things in this view that I know is in the project, a bunch of 3D elements, and we're going to focus on this area of the building. As you can see in my 3D view, I have a bunch of tables in this kitchen area, in the outdoor area, and also this little terrace space that is not visible in my view, as you can see here. And I'm going to go through all 3 of those steps that we talked about on how to figure out why this element is hidden and how to unhide it. So the first thing in the visibility graphic overrides is to check the category overrides. Now, you can either do this in your project browser by going to visibility and graphic overrides or using the keyboard shortcut VV or VG. For this purpose, I'll select the visibility and graphic overrides in my properties tab here. First thing you want to know is if it's all grayed out like this, as you can see here, that means that we are using a view template on this project or on this view, and the visibility and graphic overrides is being overridden with a view template. So I probably want to check the view template next. As you can see, we have our view template here, and I can override the graphics. Now, before I make any changes to the view template, I want to check how many views this view template is assigned to. As we can see, it's 6, and maybe there's a reason these things are hidden. Maybe I don't want to modify this view template because it's going to affect a lot of other views, so I will turn this view template off. Alternatively, what I could do is if I didn't want to turn the view template off, I could also come down here to the temporary view properties and turn that on just to check things out. But in this case, I will just turn the view template off, and so that I can override or make changes to the visibility and graphics of this view. So now that we've turned our template off, we can then go to the visibility and graphics model category overrides and check to see if the category for furniture is turned off, since that's what I'm looking for. So we can scroll down and see that the category is turned off, and we can simply turn that on to be visible. First step is done. All right, we have a few pieces of furniture that appeared now, but I still am missing a ton more different furniture elements. As we can see, they are visible in my 3D view, but still are not visible in my plan view here. So next step is still within the visibility and graphic overrides, which is checking our filters. So I'm going to go back to the visibility and graphic overrides and then come up here to the filters override. Here we can see what filters are potentially hiding elements in the project. And I actually don't see any filters that are hiding any furniture elements, so I can move on to the next check, which is the worksets override. This is only available if you do have worksets in your project, if you have worksets enabled, and if you're in a work shared model. So if you're not in a work shared model, you can skip this step, but if you are, you do want to check your worksets because you can set worksets to be visible or to be hidden. You can see I have 3 worksets here, and I do have a terrace furniture workset that is set to hide. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that to either visible, or the default for this workset is visible. So I'll just turn that on. And now we'll be able to see more furniture. Great. But if we head back to our 3D view and check, we are still missing a bunch of furniture within this area. So now that we finished step 1, which is to check our visibility and graphics, the next check is to see if there are elements hidden in view. So a lot of people tend to do this if they're just trying to hide an element, especially if you're in a work shared model working with many different people. You can't control what everyone does in your project. How people tend to hide elements in view is you can simply select an element and right click and then say hide in view elements, right? And then that hides the element. And in order to get that back, we can simply use our reveal hidden elements button down here, and it will put us in a temporary mode that shows all of the hidden elements. And I come in here and can see that these now 4 furniture elements are hidden, so I can simply just select them. And at the top, right, unhide elements, turn off my temporary reveal hidden elements, and now all those elements are visible in this view. So that was step 2, which is check for elements hidden in view. And lastly, our last step is to check our view range. We know that if we look back at the 3D view, this part of our view is elevated from the rest by about 2 feet, I believe. And so that could also cause elements to be hidden. So the first thing I want to do is check my view range and make sure that my view range is allowing me to see those elements. And I can see that it's not. Somebody must have set the cut plane and the top to be much lower. So I'm going to update these, and hopefully that will do the trick. I see a bunch of things did reveal themselves, but the missing furniture in this area is still not visible. And so if the view range is already set in the view properties, there might be a secondary element that is causing the view range to be different than the rest of the view. And that is what is called a plan region. It's annotated similarly to a scope box. So if I select this dashed element that is in this area, it is called a plan region. Sometimes this is also hidden in view. So what I do is I'll go to the visibility and graphics, go to annotation categories, and make sure that plan region is toggled on to be visible. And then you'll be able to see the plan region. If you go to view plans, this is how you make a plan region. Go to plan views and you can create a plan region, and that allows you to modify an area of the plan to have a different view range than the rest of the plan. So let's go ahead and select that plan region and also edit the view range here to make sure that that area is visible. And now we'll see that all the furniture elements in our view are visible, and we were able to determine why they were hidden and solve that mystery in 3 easy steps.
And that's it for today's episode on finding hidden elements in Revit. I hope you found these tips helpful. And remember, the next time you can't find an element, check your visibility and graphics settings for your category overrides, filter, and workset overrides. See if it's hidden by element and review your view range. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments what other Revit tips you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay empowered, stay inspired, and always challenge what is possible.